thing, Mike. There we go. Thanks for letting me know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Phenomena number 24, Paranormal Christmas. It is Christmas Day this Saturday, 2021. Christmas stuff happened, and I am late. But thank you for everyone that showed up. I'm sure some people went ahead and took off. I see Iveless B is the first one in chat there. Says, hey, Lockbeard, want to come on stream for 10 real quick and promote your show? I would have if I was here. But thanks and welcome. Sandra Piper says, hey, Lockbeard, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Welcome. Uncle Moans, welcome. Lester Taylor, welcome to you as well. Ernie Roberg, welcome and Merry Christmas to all you guys. Let's see here. I'll just pop all these through real quick. Sandra's like, Lockbeard, where are you? Just couldn't turn myself away. I should have, if I had my way, I would have been here on time, but yeah, Paul's well. Welcome, Deb the Web. Welcome. Aotearoa Cryptids. Welcome. Gene Hudson. Welcome. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you. Bat Mom says, hey, whoever's making those videos speaking of crap with no proof needs to stop. It's ridiculous and gotten way too far. It needs to stop. People and families are being put into something they are clueless about, and someone is going around with my real name saying that it's me, and I will find out who it is. Trust and believe. I will not be associated with anyone telling lies. Get them, Batman. Yeah, they are. Got some unscrupulous people. You know, they try to act like someone like me is being unscrupulous, and you as well. And meanwhile, they're doing stuff like that. So, you know, you guys aren't. You don't have the moral high ground. You're doing bad stuff here. So, yeah, you need to stop because you're not helping your case. You're not helping your case. But we don't want to talk about that stuff tonight, do we? Thanks. Thank y'all hanging around too. 5x5 lock. I'm not sure. I don't know what you mean. Jen, welcome. Chessboard, welcome. Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully everybody had a good Christmas holiday. Yeah. So, what's up out there? Chessboard says Lockbeard Highlesby would like you to come over for like 10 minutes on his live stream. Yeah, I saw that message. It was the first one in. He was saying to promote my show, this show, but I was already really late. So Yeah. So that's probably not going down, but yep, I am here. So yeah. So Christmas is a lot more paranormal than people think. How much of it's true or not, I don't, but there's a lot of interesting legends and some things in movies too that are like the creatures that are associated with Christmas. So I find those interesting as well. Some of them. I didn't put the Grinch on my list. I almost did. Maybe I should have. But there are so many things, and I'm not going to mention anywhere near everything. All the legends are out there. There's so many, and some of them kind of cross with each other. Where you'll have one legend that started more recently than the other, and they've been able to trace that it has connection to it, that it evolved out of the other one. So so do you talk about them as one thing, or do you talk about them separately? I don't know. Just Ford saying hi to some of you. Angel Nolan, welcome. So I threw some on a slideshow. Some interesting things. The first one is definitely out of a movie. Just to warn you, it doesn't come from. Well, it kind of comes from legend, but as a Christmas-oriented thing, it's not really. Let me enlarge this a little bit. Bam. Paranormal Christmas. Oh yeah, I totally did that. Mark Dobbins here. Good day to you. So y'all remember this movie? What if these are real? Like, who could make this crap up? Seriously. You just sprinkle water on this thing and it just multiplies prolifically. It's definitely evil. The very concept, the concept of gremlins, for one reason, is totally evil. It's so evil that I don't believe anyone can be that evil. And the concept is that this movie demonizes the idea of midnight snacks. That's wrong. That's totally wrong. That's so evil that this has got to be real. Somebody didn't make this up. No one is evil enough to make that shit up. So yeah, gremlins were insane. What if those things were real though? Those things would be cool. Like if you wanted to take out an enemy, you just fly over and throw a couple gremlins in one of their lakes. Problem solved. Sandra saying hi to Mark. Boom. What's up, everybody? Don't feed after midnight. Yeah. Yeah, midnight snacks are out. That's just I can't believe someone would demonize midnight snacks like that. That's a horrible thing to do. Now that being said, teenage boys at the time that this movie came out did not watch this movie for the Gremlins. They watched it for Phoebe Cates. You know it's true. Don't deny it. The second one was pretty cool too. The whole genetic experiment stuff, where they could come up with a variety of different versions of Gremlins, but um, I'm not sure. You know, like with a lot of movies, when they make the when they make a sequel, they can't remotely uh, live up to the original. You know, they just should have left it alone. And Gremlins probably they should have left alone. But you know, with the variety of Gremlins they were able to come up with, it made it kind of cool. And yeah, so that counts as kind of a cryptid, a kind of a paranormal thing, Christmas oriented. Okay, maybe that one was a stretch. Maybe that one was a stretch. So um, I wonder how many people remember or know about this one. This is because everyone remembers the other ones, the other ghost in this story. But I bet a lot of people don't remember this one, the ghost of Jacob Marley in Christmas Carol, who was someone that Ebenezer Scrooge knew, who came to him at the beginning of the story and told him, you know, what was going to happen to him, kind of. And so there's a ghost. There's something paranormal, something Christmas oriented. I thought about putting Jesus on this list, but maybe I shouldn't do that. But he's kind of paranormal, isn't he? And then, of course, there are the ghosts themselves, the ghost of past, present, and future, or you know, Christmas past, so on and so forth. Um, yeah, so seems like Christmas is a ghostly time, every bit as much as Halloween, maybe, almost. It's pretty damn ghostly. Y'all heard of Krampus, right? Yeah, this is a interesting legend. A lot of these things. I mean, you see he's got a hold of that kid there. Um, Kid's in trouble, man. And you know, anyway, a lot of these legends, they're things that that are punishing people or kids in particular for not behaving. Krampus, you know, because everyone thinks of Saint Nicholas as, you know, he's going around giving people presents, and we talk about you know, Santa Claus now. He's going around giving presents, but the kids aren't taught about his associates, and he had a bunch of them who were assisted him by punishing kids that were naughty. It's funny how we leave that part of the legends out. And Krampus was one of uh, one of Saint Nicholas's assistants, and he would visit the kids with him, and it's a old Alpine folklore, and um, of course, St. Nicholas would give the good kids the gifts. Usually it was a food item. In that case, um, something sweet or tasty, nuts, dried fruits, stuff like that. Um, so and this, sometimes it's hard to say exactly what the origins of some of these, because you know this has been incorporated as kind of a Christian um, cryptid or spirit, whatever you want to call it. But its origins actually predate Christianity. Um, of course, there's been I don't know. I think there's been a couple movies made about Krampus. And there's celebrations and people dress up as Krampus. It's kind of weird. Um, so yeah, he's out to punish punish kids, and it's like, I guess a favored punishment of his is to flog kids with birch rods. So parents out there, parental units, stop leaving out Krampus. You teach them about Santa Claus, teach them about Krampus. This dude's gonna punish the bad ones, and they probably deserve it. Yeah, Sandra Piper says yes to Krampus. Anonymous Yeti says season's greetings from Yeti Stand. Awesome. Christina's here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Merry Christmas to you. Yep. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah, so so you kind of wonder, because a lot of these that I'm gonna bring up on the screen, they're kind of doing the same thing. They're punishing kids. So you kind of wonder if they all have a single origin way back when, or if humans have just a basic behavioral trait that we utilize scary monsters to scare kids into behaving, and it developed in separate cultures. I don't know, but a lot of them are European origin. So I tend to think there might be, if you were able to trace them far enough back, you would find a common ancestor legend to all of these. Chat started moving a little bit there. Hellos and more hellos. Old Man Winter. This is a Christmas entity, isn't it? In charge of the cold time of year. Some more hellos and Merry Christmases going on there. So yeah, there's another entity, another cryptid or spirit or whatever he's supposed to be. Maybe even a god of some kind. So yeah. He's called a personification, but that's kind of the same as a god. Um, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to come out of Greek mythology and pagan culture, but in the Greek mythology, I don't know how much y'all know about Greek mythology. That they had it set up where each of the gods um, uh, had dominion over a certain aspect of life. Um, like you had a god that was in control of war, and a god that was in control of love, and all these things. So it kind of fits with all that. Um, so just another interesting idea. What if there is some spirit that is associated with winter in reality? I mean, who knows? Um, and of course, let me catch up the chat here. Christina says, y'all stay away from Antlers, the movie. Holy crap, every night is an event now. I hate it. Yeah. State you live in. Never heard of that movie, Antlers. I've never seen it. Florida. Who's bothering you? Oh, there's some pricks out there causing shit. Oh, freaking. Let me pull that comment back up. Oh, freaking Dark Sewage over there is trying to claim that there's some kind of thing going on between me and the Bat Mom. If he's listening, he probably is, or one of his little minions. He's just proven that he's a liar. He's proven one of the things that he's being criticized for. Because what he's saying is a lie, and it's just another lie from Dark Sewage. So keep on proving us, man, proving us right. Let's see, Mr. Lee 3PO's in the house. Merry Christmas, welcome. Christine, it says Gene Hudson. It's new. It's about a Wendigo legend. No, says the Bat Mom. Mr. Lee 3PO says, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, everyone. Yep, ho, ho, ho. Christina says, what? Lockbeard is mine. Uh-oh. I seem to have been claimed. Gene Hudson says, oh, thanks, Christina. I don't mess with those movies. Gene says, the Batmom to me is sounded like they did that crap to blame you. What the heck? I can't even type tonight. So who's next? Someone very similar, Jack Frost. Personification of winter, freezing cold, ice, snow, all that good stuff. Frost, as in his name. It was just kind of a variant of Old Man Winter, and that's why I was saying what I was saying earlier, is some of these maybe aren't truly maybe some of these should probably be talked about as being the same thing, that they are both originate from uh, the same legend. Uh, so, and he's supposed to be kind of like a sprite. Um, and sprites are, um, kind of like a fairy. They come out of European culture as well. And it's another supernatural entity associated with winter. Old Man Winter and Jack Frost aren't necessarily specifically Christmas, but I figured I'd throw them in here and that they count. Um, so yeah, let's see here. Check the chat again. Uh, Mr. Lee getting all those hellos in. Going now. Have a blessed night, says the Bat Mom. You too. Merry Christmas. Ignore the sewage. Mark Dobbins says, Merry Christmas to you too, Mr. Lee, and also to Jen. Merry Christmas. Be happy. So I decided that Frosty the Snowman should be part of this. um, okay. He's not normally depicted as looking all evil and fighting people, but why not? I mean, you put a magical hat on a snowman that comes to life. That's some dark magic right there. Some dark magic. Now, I'm probably going to mispronounce this. Frau Perchta. So maybe somebody who's more connected to the culture that legend originates from. Maybe they could chime in chat and try to get us to pronounce it correctly. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes she's portrayed as this old woman, and then sometimes she's portrayed as a young, beautiful woman. Mark Dobbin says, Merry Christmas to you, Gene. Have a wonderful Christy break. Christina says, Frosty the Snowman, a.k.a. Black Magic Yeti. Yep. Yeah, I see a snowman come to life. I ain't hanging around. That there can't, in the cartoon they made for kids. He was this nice guy, but I don't think in reality, if a snowman came to life in reality, I have a hunch some bad shit's about to go down. Gene says, Frosty always made me think of Stranger Danger. Yeah. Imagine that it would. Um, Hold on just a second. Christina says he melts in the sunlight. Darkness hates light. Yep. See? Frosty's freaking evil, man. Gene Hudson says only played with children and got them to tell lies to parents. Oh, man. Live snowman? Nope, says Andrew Piper. Yep. Yep, that's that don't sound like a good situation at all, does it? So Frau, I have a feeling I'm not pronouncing that right. Frau Perchta or Birchta or whatever. Was another a lot, and a lot of these are Alpine origin, right? Alpine pagan cultural things. Anyway, Frau Perchta was a goddess to them. And she would appear during the 12 days of Christmas and would oversee spinning, like spinning yarn, you know. It's kind of strange. Like you hear that, you know, it's kind of weird to our modern culture, I guess, but you know, that was kind of important back in the day. And so yeah, I mean, it was just because no one spins yarn today. You know, it's just not a thing. And in some of the legends, she has this big foot, and that might have something to do with you know, people who were spinning. The women, you know, would get what they called splay foot, so it probably has something to do with that. Anyway, during the holidays, they had this. You weren't supposed to engage in spinning, and so Frau Perchta was supposed to uphold that. But there we have another Christmas entity or goddess, you know, adding to, you know, Christmas being very, very paranormal. It's very paranormal. Even though most people think, you know, most people don't believe in these things anymore. And, you know, I don't know how much people really took these ideas seriously in the past. Maybe they took them really seriously. But, and maybe it was just based on a real person that did stuff back in the day. Who knows? Christina says the hat came from a bad man magician. Yes. Evil person's hat made the snowman come to life when the children asked. Yep. Gene Hudson says, you know, I thought I was the only one who got creeped out by Frosty. Christina says the hat held the evil magic. Yep. Gene says, oh yeah, people still spin their own yarn and more people are earning with prepping. Well, that is true. But it's just you know, it's like people that grow their own tobacco, you know, it's you know, it's a very small number of people compared to back in the day when everybody had to do it, you know, certain things. I mean, brewing your own beer, like people do it now are hobbyists, you know. For the most part, they're not doing it out of necessity. Most people just go buy their beer at the store or buy their cigarettes at the store. They don't grow their own. And but spinning, I can see how that might, under the right conditions in a shit hits the fan scenario, where you can't just go buy yarn and you got to start making it yourself again. So, but I just don't know. As a prepping minded person, I don't know how truly useful that is for your prepping strategy. I mean, it could be, but I would certainly. I would never put anything in, like I wouldn't buy the equipment and stuff like that. I would, my prepping strategy is mainly put stuff into here, and the goal is to try to achieve the ability to be dropped butt ass naked in the woods and feed yourself and clothe yourself and all that stuff. Spinning might not be the way that you achieve clothing in that scenario. You would probably be going to animal skins. So it might be better to go with learning to tan hides. But especially if you're in a scenario where, if you're planting a crop of cotton, and there's roving bands of warlords, well, they're going to see that cotton and, take it or burn it, or at least know you're there and know that there's somebody that's got other stuff that they can steal. So it kind of makes you a sitting duck in a way if you're growing crops of any kind. Anonymous Yeti yells at Bat Mom for some reason. Yeah, she left. Mr. Lee says he got some high-def binoculars from Santa to watch the spaceships. That's cool. Mr. Lee says, Gene, yes, they are so cool. Gene says, wow, won't catch me brewing beer. I can't get past the smell. Mr. Lee says, and you can record footage with them too. Oh, awesome. Go out and catch you some Bigfoot. Mr. Lee, record some Bigfoot. Gene Hudson says, got a lady here that spins and makes things, been doing it for years, makes good money, and trades for stuff she needs. It's awesome. Christina says, Gene, we have breweries here. I love that smell. Gene says, oh, Mr. Lee, let us know what you catch and don't be looking in windows. I'm sure he won't. Sandra says, nice gift from Santa. He must have been really good. Yeah, he's been good. Too cloudy though. So happy. You won't look in the windows, Mr. Lee? Anonymous Yeti says, I caught Santa, but he bribed me to let him go. Awesome. All right. Definitely going to butcher the pronunciation of this one. Jolaco-Turin. Jolaco. Turin. Let's see. Gene says, my brother makes knives and weapons and also tans hides. We all can, but tanning hides is hard work. Yeah. I almost wonder if one should just, if things are that bad, just migrate to a warmer region and just don't wear clothes. You wouldn't need clothes if you were in the tropics or something necessarily. So yeah, very big kitty cat. Um, so this is another uh, punisher of kids, I guess. Sanders says, Mr. Lee, so glad you're happy. Gene says, Lockbeard, I don't think those leaves down south cover much. No, but, do we really need to cover anything if it's warm? Warm enough to live comfortably? Um, maybe we don't need to cover anything. Um, so this is an Icelandic legend here. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, how was your Christmas? Did you eat lots? I had so many carbs. I actually was good about that. I pretty much ate almost entirely meat, a little bit of just like a couple, like maybe 3 tablespoons worth of boiled squash and a couple olives. But beyond that, I just ate some turkey with some gravy on it. So I kept it keto, Mr. Lee, and I didn't eat a whole bunch. Because as long as I eat the right stuff, I am not that hungry. You feel so fat right now? Yeah, I bet. Gotta stay away from them carbs, man. Gotta stay away from those carbs. Why is this thing not cooperating with me? I have a little computer issue here. Bear with me. So yeah, it's an Icelandic legend. The Yule cat. It's also called the Yule cat. It's a giant cat, and it's another variation of the are you good or not? So what it was if you were bad, you would not receive new clothes, and so the cat would look for those who weren't wearing new clothes on Christmas Eve, and it would eat you. So that's I think this definitely qualifies as a cryptid of some kind. Once again, it's a paranormal Christmas. So yeah. So it was, it's thought that this it's thought that this was an incentive for that the farmers use this as an incentive for their workers to finish processing the wool before Christmas. And so there's a lot of these legends are like this. They're trying to spook people into doing the right thing. But yeah, it's definitely a cryptid. Gene says, Mr. Lee made scalloped potatoes and ham and had a quiet day. It was nice. With bread and good butter, can't ask for a better meal on a cold, wet day. Anonymous Yeti says, I had a tasty roast yak. Just kidding. It was raw. Yep. That's the way to do it, man. Gene says, give me the carbs and chocolate. Mr. Lee says, yum. He likes scallops, just fried in a little butter. I think she was talking about scalloped potatoes, but not scalloped. Scallops. Scallops are awesome, Mr. Lee. You're damn right. Fried in a little butter. Although you can eat them raw. Some people, even they'll get the scallop out of the sea and eat it right there. Looks tasty. Joe Lacko-Turin looks tasty. Well, you probably look tasty, Tim. You better wear some new clothes, or he'll think that you didn't do your job. Mr. Lee didn't eat the cake though. Mr. Lee, seafood would kill me. Must be allergic, Gene. Gene says, I always wondered how much truth was behind some of these legends. I know UK got those big black cats. Yeah. Only thing is like, how would a big cat? Why would a big cat refrain from attacking people with new clothes? With these new synthetic fibers, maybe they wouldn't smell good to them. But in ancient times, they didn't have synthetic fibers, so I don't know. Gene says, Mr. Lee, life is short. Eat the cake, or at least take a piece for later. Yeah, scallops are awesome. It was too full. Give it another hour. I can fit that cheesecake in. And brownies. Bell's nickel. So I got 3 pictures or drawings or paintings or whatever these are. And you see he's holding like some canes or something. And if you guessed that those were for punishing kids, you would be correct. It's supposed to be this guy wears fur, gives gifts, but he's another one of those companions of Saint Nicholas. So he's got these people with him that that punish kids. So it isn't just Santa Claus running around with gifts kind of situation. So yeah, be good. Or you might get spanked. By old Bale Schnickel. Anonymous Yeti says, ha ha ha, Yetis don't wear clothes, but now I know how to lure one in. Many thanks for the hunting tip. You're welcome. Sandra says, dang, Mr. Lee 3PO, did you have a Merry Christmas, dude? And he says it was good, family stuff and all, good food, and a few laughs too. Hands Trap. This guy, so what was his deal? He as I recall, was this rich guy, and trying to remember exactly how the legend goes. Like I think it was the one. He's the one where it was him and his wife as well. They killed and ate some kids, and were punished for it. Mr. Lee says, my sister spoiled me and my brother got so drunk. But funny. Paula T's here, welcome. Says, Merry Christmas, Lockbeard and Lockconians. Uncle Bones. So you find the hands trap legend real quick. Where can I find that? Just a second. I will find. I will find it somewhere. So where's it at? Well, why can't I find? It's got to be somewhere. Well, I don't know. I'm just not finding it anywhere. I'll just have to go by memory on him, I guess. Merry Christmas, Polly. I'm praying to you. Praying for you. You want to see Brandy? Nope, haven't seen Brandy. She probably is sleeping. Polly T says, "Hey Jen, UB2 anonymous Yeti eating Christmas was as good as it can get." So I might misremember this one. Anyway, he was like a rich, greedy guy, and anyway, he got punished. He was killed, and then he was. So now, like, he's supposed to wander the woods with straw stuck in his clothes and stuff, trying to act like a scarecrow to spook kids. So technically, a ghost, you know. So it's another Christmas paranormal Christmas thing. But yeah, he hangs out with Santa Claus. You know, there's a bunch of these. They hang out with Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus or the both of them, or depending. Okay, now I found. Yeah, it says based on a real German knight. Yeah, wealthy man, stealing people's money, partying hard. Okay, yeah, that's what was sticking in my head. The excommunication. He was excommunicated, and it should say he was a Satan worshiper somewhere here, because as I recall, he was a Satan worshiper, according to the legend. Yeah, well, here we go. They don't say it like that. They say he sold his soul to the devil to pursue a life of sin, which forces him into a hobby of eating human flesh. He was banished from society and lived in the woods dressed as a scarecrow. Trying to lure kids into the woods and eat them. And God decided to strike him down with a lightning bolt. Yeah, he was struck down with a lightning bolt. And then he ended up helping St. Nicholas by keeping naughty kids in line. Gene says, Polity, I spent the day at home with a comfort food dinner. Was good. Mr. Lee watched the orb footage on Dogger's channel. Not like the orbs you've seen. It's good thinking of you today when I said morning prayers. Scrooge, you didn't repent. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, or at least he didn't get a chance to. Mr. Lee says, "What time there, Lockbeard?" It's 7:45, Mr. Lee. Maybe. Yeah, kind of. I guess you could say that. 1:48, 5 a.m. there. Yeah. So pure. I'm not going to pronounce this one right either. Feuillard or Feuillard. And you see this guy's carrying sticks as well. He's another Punisher. So there's so many of these. They're definitely trying to their kids into acting right, this guy also hung out with St. Nicholas. And he would either or both give you a lump of coal or beat you if you were a naughty kid. It's also known as Father Whipper, the Old Man Whipper. And he caught 3 boys that appeared to be rich. And yeah, he's the one, with his wife, and they killed the kids in order to rob them. And another version says that they drugged them and cut their throats, cut them into pieces, and stewed them in a barrel. St. Nicholas discovers what they did and resurrects the kids. And pure Furtard becomes another assistant. So he looks like a mean looking man, dressed in dark robes, long beard, unkempt, and he has a whip or a stick or a bundle of switches. Or he might have a backpack to carry away kids. So, and I think this picture, well, I know it is. It's someone. There's places where people dress up as all of these things, really, except for the gremlins. Gene says it's 8:45 there. Paulie T says burning the late night oil. Yeah, I don't think Mr. Lee sleeps. That's why I think he's a bot. He's named after C3PO for a reason. He'll be up all day now, probably. Yeah, Mr. Lee is the most sophisticated bot ever. He's managed to fly under the radar of everyone until Lockbeard discovered he's a bot. Anonymous Yeti says, so another flunky of Krampus, this one in charge of France. Why do you say that? Would the French name be a giveaway by chance? But yeah. Mr. Lee says that beard is rubbish. Mr. Lee says also on Monday, I am a robot. That is all. Gene says, I watched a bot movie today called I'm a Mother Was Crazy. So these are the Yule lads. Yeah, these are there's like 13 of them supposedly. And they're like supposed to be like trolls. And Yeah, there's 13 of them. They're pranksters, and they steal or harass people. Um, they arrive, or one by one, over the last 13 nights leading up to Christmas or Yule. They leave small gifts and shoes that kids place on the windowsills. So kind of makes you think, okay, they're putting shoes somewhere to get things stuffed into them, like we put stockings up for stuff to be stuck in them, right? But if a kid has been bad, they'll leave a rotten potato in the shoe instead. Um, Gene says, I've seen that. Or Miss Lee says to Gene, I've seen that. Gene says, Mr. Lee took me all day to watch that movie because everyone kept calling. More sticks. Yeah, but I don't think the legend says that they beat people, but there might be a version of it that does. Mr. Lee says, I rented the new James Bond movie, but was too busy to watch. Gene says they made another Bond movie. How many does that one make? Mr. Lee, is this the one where the James Bond is replaced by a black woman? Just saying. They keep doing this. They keep swapping everything. They're doing it. Mr. Lee says, Gene, that's why I don't have a phone. So the Yule lads have a mother called Grilla. And she is less nice. But, you know, it's like with all these legends. There was, you know, they've been modified or adapted from other legends. And so Grilla may not, in the original legends, actually been their mother, but in some versions she is, and she's supposed to be like an ogre or a giantess, you know, a real big woman, and she actually would eat uh, um, kids who had been bad. She'd cook them in her big pot. Pretty gruesome. Mr. Lee says, my new binoculars require a mobile to record, though. Huh. Bond, woke feminist Bond. Yeah, they're turning everything woke, man. They just won't stop. Just do it to everything. Um, so I want to find. No, that's not gonna. Let's see here. Well, just looking for a more expanded version of her legend, but I can't seem to find it. Oh well, it's all right. Anyway, another person, another entity that punishes kids. Well, we really want to punish these kids. Mr. Lee says I watched Squatch Talk stream yesterday. Good talk on there. Yeah, I caught the first part. I haven't been able to get the replay yet because I was tired and I fell asleep. None of us yet. He says there must have been a bumper crop of bad kids around in those days to keep all those cryptids fed and employed. I know, right? Mr. Lee says, I cannot see Anonymous Yeti on my iPad. Why? I don't know. But YouTube does that sometimes. They'll hide certain people from certain other ones for some reason. And I don't know why. But they do. So the next one. I think I got that one wrong, spelled wrong. Look up the appropriate spelling. I can't find it. Oh. Dang it. Well, I can't. Of course, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it right anyway. But they have quite a resemblance to I'm losing the name. The one we were looking at earlier, Krampus. Mr. Lee says he's going to refresh and try again. Well, why? I guess I do got it spelled right. I think it's pronounced Stragelli, but who knows? If I can't find something that shows me the proper pronunciation. But come from Switzerland. You're supposed to leave offerings from the feast for them. They're associated with perchta. So you give them food basically, and you get blessed by perchta. And then in some of the legends, they also punish. They rob bad kids and tear them apart. Pretty mean. Mr. Lee says he thinks the Sasquatch is a forest person with supernatural powers, he has concluded. Perhaps. Now, this weird one, Mari Lewid, I think is how it's pronounced, or something similar to that. So, what had happened was, or what these people do, they'll get, sometimes they use a fake horse skull, but sometimes they use a real one, and then they hang ribbons and sheets and stuff off of it, and they'll go and they'll try to get in your house, or they'll knock on your door or whatever. They'll ask to come in or something to that effect. And the people in the house are supposed to like sing or to refuse to let them enter. And then you're supposed to go back and forth, and they sing and they keep wanting to get in, but in the end, you end up letting the people in. The people go around with this horse head thing, so the big group of guys, and then eventually you let them in, and you're supposed to give them some of your food and alcohol. So I don't know how much of a real. Namachedi says that does not look tasty. Someone already ate it. Yeah, somebody totally already ate that. So, sorry. I don't see why you couldn't be the one that did the eating of it, though. Possibly. So, yeah. It's kind of a spooky looking thing. So you can have this little guy. Tom 10. There's some other names for it. Cannot see another shitty Merry Christmas though, says Mr. Lee. Yeah. Yeah. It's freaking YouTube, man. They do that crap. So this guy is like a kind of like a gnome. It's a Nordic mythology. associated with Christmas and the winter solstice. And they're short, have a long white beard, wear a cone-shaped hat. And they live in your house or in your barn, and they are a guardian. They protect you, your family, and your animals from evil, and may also do chores. But they are supposed to be short-tempered, and if you insult them, they'll play tricks on you, steal stuff, or maim or kill livestock. So that's kind of extreme for something that's supposed to protect your animals, but you offend them, and then they will kill the freaking animals. So then there's these guys. Mr. Lee says weird. Machete says greetings from Yeti Stan, Mr. Lee. Yeah, that's one good thing about me popping a lot of the chat on the screens. Mr. Lee would have not known you were ever here because of YouTube doing the YouTube stupid crap. So anyway, these little elves hang out with Santa. As far as I know, they don't do any punishing. They make you little gifts. But I'm sure they're up to something. Just look at them. And of course, there's the reindeer. These horned beasts that fly through the sky. That's got to be some dark witchcraft right there. Gotta wonder about old Santa Claus. He's hanging out with little imps and these cloven-hooved, horned beasts that fly through the sky like witches. And there's the man himself, Santa Claus. Now just look at, now let's look at his name first. His last name is Claus. You replace that U with a W. It's a whole different word, isn't it? And his first name, Santa. Well, if you take the N and move it to the end of his name, it spells Satan. And he's dressed in red. Isn't that Satan's color? Red. He goes around and he flies to the sky, hangs out with these imps, his sleigh. Well, maybe we could spell sleigh Slay. I don't know. Anyway, his sleigh's drawn by these horned beasts. And then he breaks into your house. And then he says, ho, ho, ho. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't like people breaking in my house and calling every woman in the house a hoe. That's not nice at all. And how did he get in there anyway? He squeezed down the chimney? What kind of black magic is that? And then what does he do? He teaches kids about greed. Because the kids, they all want stuff. Santa Claus brings them stuff. teaches him greed. And then he's also a glutton. He eats cookies at everybody's house. So, I mean, sounds like he's a symbol of a bunch of most of the deadly sins. I don't trust this guy at all. And to make it worse, every year there be some guy dressed up as Santa in all the stores, eagerly waiting for everybody's children to sit on his lap. I think he's up to no good. It's gotta be. Toy makers, says Anonymous Yeti. 8 tasty reindeer. Yep. Patty Troy says, I never see Santa in the same way again. Yeah. Yep. Satan Claus. Mr. Lee says, me neither. And Donna Shetty says, and Santa is a foul-mouthed jerk. Just released a video about him. We captured his ass in Yeti stand. Did you? Patty Troy says, hi, Gene and Mr. Lee. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right, there's a real cryptid right there. That's all I put on there. There are so many. I mean, it's just there's so many of these, paranormal entities associated with Christmas. It's almost beyond any other holiday, even Halloween. In some respects, we had some gnomes and elves and trolls and ogres, goblins, spirits, gods, witches, all kinds of crap associated with Christmas. And the worst of them all, Santa Claus. Gene Hester says, LOL, Lockbeard, do you think, like my daughter, 70, she has the neighborhood kids convinced the ice cream truck is to kidnap children? Yeah. You never know. You gotta watch out for the ice cream truck. Mr. Lee says, real. None of Machete says, well done. Thank you. Mr. Lee says, witches, yes. Patty Troy says, Gene, that's a good idea your daughter has. Yeah. Uncle Bone says, great rundown, Lockbeard. Thank you. Trying to get comfortable on this stupid thing. No, Machete says Yuletide and Saturnalia pagan festivals are also this time of year, which is where most of these things come from. Yeah. I think they're all derived from older cultures, older legends. They get incorporated into the new legends and altered, and everything comes from something in the past if you dig into it enough. I mean, Christmas, they celebrate it as the birthday of Jesus, but the Bible says that Jesus was born in the lambing season, which is not in the middle of winter. So what's going on is they kind of co-opted the pagan holiday to try and be sneaky about converting pagans into Christianity. Did the same thing with the other holidays, All Hallows Eve, Easter. They just kind of took over a religious holiday of older religions in those areas and absorbed them into Christianity. So I don't know. There was just so many different paranormal entities associated with the holiday. Just thought that was kind of interesting. Anonymous Yeti says, correct Lockbeard, Jesus was born September 11th, 5 BC. Where do you get that date? Mr. Lee says it's raining cats and dogs here. It seems like a long day today. I woke up at 2 a.m. So, what is the situation out there? I mean, it's Christmas Day. I figure most people would be too busy visiting with their family to be on YouTube. What are we all doing here? I know it went fast. Back to work on Monday. Patty Troy says minus 30 where I am in Canada. Enjoy the rain. Enjoy the rain, Mr. 3PO. Yeah. Well, here in Oklahoma, I think it got in the 80s today. It's really, really warm, nice day for Christmas. We certainly didn't have a white Christmas. Anonymous Yeti says biblical scholars for the day and month, the inaccuracies in the current calendar when they did the changeover centuries ago and got the date wrong for the year. Yeah. Yeah, they've gotten a lot of things wrong out of the book. But, and that's why it's so important for people not to get too horribly invested in any particular interpretation, because it's you're looking at it with your modern ideas, and you don't really understand the mindset of the people that wrote that stuff, and you certainly don't know the original languages. So none of us have read some people have read the original writings in the original languages, and the translations don't always come out right. Like that snake in the tree in the Garden of Eden. Well, the original language didn't say there was a snake in the tree. It said there was something beautiful that convinced her. And so that makes more sense now, doesn't it? why would a snake convince her to disobey her God? But something beautiful might make more sense that it would be able to convince her to do something like that. Gene says it is 25 degrees here in Upper Michigan. We are having a heat wave. Don't even need jackets yet. Pedro says I'm jealous. And Machete says always do your own research. Yeah, totally. But just don't take it literally. There's there might be bits of truth sprinkled in there, but you don't want to take it too literally, because you'll end up getting it wrong. Like the flood in the Bible, it describes the situation a certain way. It says that the entire world flooded. Well, in a time where people didn't have trains or cars, they didn't have satellites taking pictures of the planet, so if a big enough flood come along and you look around, what's basically your whole world is what you can travel to on foot or maybe on a horse. Your entire world is flooded, but from your perspective as a Bronze Age goat herder, you have no way of knowing if everything flooded on the planet, especially if you don't even know the nature of the planet, that it's a sphere and all that. But like I said, there's a lot of these things that have some element of truth to it. So when you learn about the Younger Dryas impact about 13,000 years ago, and how that caused the sea level to rise 400 feet, well, a sea level rise affects all coastlines. And then, of course, there was more going on than that, because the impact occurred in Greenland. And so a lot of areas would have flooded that are above sea level now, but it would have been a short-lived, destroy everything in sight, and then it flows out to the sea. Mr. Lee says, Patty, that is cold. Have you met Heimo Korth? Patty says, who's that? Mr. Lee says, Patty, he is a last Alaskan and his wife, Edna. He is a last Alaskan and his wife, Edna. What does that mean, a last Alaskan? No, Machete says, the asteroid that hit northern Greenland did it. Bye-bye, Atlantis. Yeah. I still got people telling me they think that, because, they've been hearing people try to say, well, we think Atlantis is in Antarctica. But it appears that they may have discovered the true location of the city of Atlantis. And in the, I think it's called the Eye of the Sahara. It's in Africa. If you look at like satellite images or high altitude images of that area, you can see where water has flowed over a vast area of that land, out of that part of Africa towards the sea, flowed towards the west. And so for whatever reason, a lot of water flowed across there at some point. And possibly just this major cataclysm. There are whale bones in the desert there, And how'd you get whale bones that far inland? Even though ancient man may have hunted the whales in some areas, they certainly didn't drag it that far inland. So we know that water flowed there. So I don't know exactly how it went down. Maybe when the impact occurred, a massive wave of water came up, real far inland in Africa, and then that water flowed back out. I don't know, but the Eye of the Sahara, they know that there's uh, tectonic activities going on, right? And in some places like there, the land moves up and down at different times. It people, they don't, if they don't understand that happens in places where the land itself will go up or down, or even both, depending on the time. That could explain some stuff there, because the Eye of Sahara is pretty far inland in Africa, and it was supposed to have water in those rings in that structure. And so, the sea level went up 400 feet, right, during that cataclysm. But that would not explain how there could be water in the Eye of the Sahara. But geologists have determined that area there moves. So the land itself changes elevation. Now that might explain some things. Never heard of them, Patty says. He's written some primitive survival books. Patty says, I should look him up. The way the world is going, I may need to know some of them survival skills. Gene says they had a YouTube that they found a stone hedge in the Great Lakes. A stone hedge? Another Shetty says that's an extinct volcano. Robert Seffer talked about. The kid on the Bright Insight channel started that Atlantis thing. Yeah, he talks about it a lot. Seems to make sense. But if we're talking about so Atlantis wasn't the entire civilization. Like at the time, before the Younger Dryas impact occurred, there was a major worldwide civilization, or at least the world was connected. People at least were engaged in trade or something. And of course, when you look at something like the Pierre-Reese map, which just seems to show Antarctica without ice on it. So, at some point, somebody knew what the continent looked like underneath all the ice. Well, how would they know that unless there were some major changes, and a continent like that was totally livable, but something happened to change the climate there, and now it's a frozen wasteland. So now, knowing that there was this major worldwide civilization that had tremendous construction capabilities, able to build things out of massive rocks that fit together way too tight in some places. wasn't primitive people carving stones by hand. It's so perfect that you gotta wonder, did they have lasers? Did they cut stone with lasers? I mean, how'd they do that? But so if that worldwide civilization existed, and Antarctica was livable before, but not now. Now it's covered in ice. So what is underneath the ice in Antarctica? Buildings, technology, things preserved by the ice. Gene says, yes, Stonehenge underwater in one of the Great Lakes. Huh, crazy. Makes you wonder if it was, well, and we know at some point there wasn't water there. That water was meltwater's left over, supposedly. So people may have lived down there before it filled with water. Mr. Lee says, Patrick Vaughn has primitive survival skills. He should start a channel. Anonymous Machete says, Gene, I heard that too. Have not seen evidence for it yet, but Great Lakes were much lower in the Paleolithic. Lockbeard, Chessboard says, Lockbeard Pierre Reese map 1500. Well, the map, as I recall, was copied or probably copied from older maps. So I wouldn't think that, Antarctica wouldn't have been livable 1500 in the year 1500, or even 1500 years ago, whichever you mean there. But but it's very possible that things were different 13,000 years ago and before. So who knows what's down there? Of course, now, you can't claim land down there. The major world governments signed the Antarctic Treaty, and this, we effectively have a situation where a world government has claimed Antarctica. They say no one else can claim the rest of the land in Antarctica, but by use of that treaty, they have in effect claimed Antarctica for themselves. Gene says, Yeti, they have a YouTube show on it, but didn't check it out. Mr. Lee says, I'm sure we have all been here before and are a repetitive reincarnation, doomed to repeat our lives over and over until we get it good. Nana Shetty says, Admiral Reese flatly stated he had compiled this map from older maps. Yeah, so there you have it. So what else? What's going on in the cryptid community right now? Just where it says Anonymous Yeti, exactly nothing new under the sun. Patty says, ugh, I don't want to keep doing this, Mr. Lee. I'm a slow learner. Mr. Lee says, Sasquatch. You say Sasquatch a lot. Wonder why. Danny, he says, nothing. So, I don't know what else to say tonight. I'm pretty tired. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it out here in a second. Mr. Lee says, Dan, Merry Christmas, man. Yeah. Merry Christmas to all. So if there's nothing else, I think I'm going to wrap her up. Thank y'all for coming. I don't know if I'll see. Well, one, I don't know if he's going to do a show. He probably won't. I imagine a lot of people that would be doing a show tonight won't be because of the holiday. Normally, Central Florida Bigfoot has an 8 o'clock, but I don't know if he's going to tonight. But what I'm pretty certain of is that I'll be asleep by then. I'm sorry, not 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So he might already be on. I'll go and check that, actually. I don't see him. But I see UFO Man's on. So I don't know if any of you guys watch UFO Man. Antheoria Apophysis is on. He's not a paranormal channel. It's a science channel. But I think a few of y'all do watch him sometimes. And what else? Looks like Gypsy Road is on, and Spaced Out Radio. So there might be something you guys can check out if you're not ready to hang her up like I am. Mr. Lee says, like Groundhog Day, it's a good movie. Anonymous Yeti says, good show. I need to go crush another yak and eat again. Well, enjoy. Gene says, Merry Christmas, Lockbeard. Good night. You too. Wagon Breath's here. Catching the last couple minutes. Uncle Bones says, thank you, Lockbeard. Have a good night. Thank you, Uncle Bones. You too. Chessboard says, thanks, Lockbeard. Have a good evening. You too. And Chessboard, Merry Christmas, Lockbeard from Patty Troy. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Cassie is doing a reading on SR. Cool. Mr. Lee says, big Merry Christmas to all and those I can't see in the Lockbeard stream. Yeah, I can't believe they do that to people. And sometimes it just seems so random that you got to wonder why. What an algorithm is making that happen. Well, thank you all. Go ahead and cut out. Y'all have a good rest of your holiday season. I'm sure I'll see you before New Year's. Y'all have a good night.